Welcome to this recipe for classic chicken fried steak with creamy gravy. This southern comfort food is a favorite for its crispy, flavorful coating and rich, savory gravy. Perfect for a hearty meal, chicken fried steak pairs wonderfully with sides like mashed potatoes, green beans, or a fresh salad. Follow along as we go through each step, from preparing and dredging the steaks to frying them to golden perfection and making a delicious gravy. Let's get started. Alright, let's go over the ingredients you'll need for making delicious chicken fried steak. For the steak. For beef cube steaks, these are tenderized cuts of beef, perfect for frying because of their texture. Each steak should be about 4 to 6 ounces. 2 cups all-purpose flour. This will be used to coat the steaks, creating that classic crispy crust. 1 teaspoon salt. Essential for seasoning and enhancing all the flavors. 1 teaspoon black pepper adds a bit of heat and depth to the seasoning. 1 teaspoon paprika brings a mild sweetness and a vibrant color to the coating. 1 teaspoon garlic powder infuses a subtle garlic flavor throughout the crust. 1 teaspoon onion powder complements the garlic powder and adds a bit of savory depth. 1/2 teaspoon cayenne pepper. This is optional, but if you like a little kick, it adds a nice heat. 2 large eggs. These are beaten and mixed with buttermilk to help the flour coating stick to the steaks. 1 cup buttermilk adds a tangy flavor and helps tenderize the meat. If you don't have buttermilk, regular milk will work fine. Vegetable oil for frying the steaks. You'll need enough to fill your skillet about 1/2 inch deep. For the gravy, a 1/4 cup all-purpose flour. This will be used to thicken the gravy. 2 cups milk. Whole milk is preferred because it makes the gravy richer and creamier. Salt and pepper to taste for seasoning the gravy. Now that we have all our ingredients ready, let's start cooking. Alright, let's start with the first step, preparing the steaks. First, pat the cube steaks dry with paper towels. This is crucial because removing excess moisture helps the coating stick better and creates a crispier crust. Next, set up your dredging station. You'll need 2 shallow bowls or dishes. In the first dish, combine 2 cups of all-purpose flour with 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper if you're using it. Mix these dry ingredients well to ensure an even coating. In the second dish, beat 2 large eggs and then whisk in 1 cup of buttermilk. This mixture will help the flour stick to the steaks and give them a nice thick coating. Next, let's dredge the steaks. Take each cube steak and dredge it in the seasoned flour mixture. Make sure to press the flour into the meat firmly so it sticks well. Shake off any excess flour. After that, dip the floured steak into the egg and buttermilk mixture, ensuring it's fully coated. Then dredge the steak in the flour mixture once again, pressing firmly to get a good, even coating. This double dredging process helps create a thick, crispy crust. Once coated, place the steaks on a wire rack. Let them rest for about 10 minutes. This resting period is important because it helps the coating adhere better and prevents it from falling off during frying. Now let's move on to frying the steaks. In a large skillet, heat about 1/2 inch of vegetable oil over medium-high heat. The oil needs to reach around 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius for proper frying. You can test the temperature by dropping a small bit of the flour mixture into the oil. If it sizzles and bubbles immediately, the oil is ready. Fry the steaks in batches to avoid overcrowding the pan, which can lower the oil temperature and result in less crispy steaks. Place a few steaks in the hot oil, making sure they have enough space. Fry each steak for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side or until they turn golden brown and crispy. Use tongs to turn them carefully. Once cooked, transfer the steaks to a paper towel-lined plate to drain any excess oil. This will help keep them crispy. Now let's make the gravy. After frying all the steaks, carefully drain all but about a quarter cup of the oil from the skillet. Be sure to leave any browned bits in the pan. These add incredible flavor to the gravy. Over medium heat, whisk in a quarter cup of flour to the remaining oil in the skillet. Cook this mixture, stirring constantly until the flour is lightly browned. This should take about 1 to 2 minutes. Gradually whisk in 2 cups of milk, stirring constantly to avoid lumps. Continue stirring until the mixture is smooth. Bring the mixture to a simmer and cook until the gravy thickens, which will take about 5 to 7 minutes. Keep stirring occasionally to prevent sticking. Finally, season the gravy with salt and pepper to taste. Finally, let's serve the dish. Serve the chicken fried steak hot, generously topped with the creamy gravy. The rich, flavorful gravy complements the crispy steak perfectly. This dish pairs wonderfully with mashed potatoes, green beans, or a side salad, making it a hearty and satisfying meal. Enjoy your homemade chicken fried steak with all the fixings. Here are some tips and tricks to ensure your chicken fried steak turns out perfectly. Use cube steak. Cube steak is a tenderized cut of beef, often from the round or chuck, and its texture is perfect for chicken fried steak. If you can't find cube steak, you can use round steak and tenderize it yourself with a meat mallet. Resting the coated steaks. Letting the coated steaks rest on a wire rack before frying helps the coating adhere better and makes it crispier. This step is crucial for getting that perfect, crunchy crust. Oil temperature. Keeping the oil at the right temperature, around 350 degrees Fahrenheit, is crucial. If the oil is too hot, the coating will burn before the meat is cooked through. If it's too cool, the coating will absorb more oil and become greasy. Use a thermometer to monitor the oil temperature. Gravy consistency. If your gravy is too thick, add a bit more milk to thin it out. If it's too thin, let it cook a bit longer to thicken, or add a slurry of flour and water to achieve the desired consistency. Stir constantly to avoid lumps. Seasoning. Adjust the seasoning to your taste. For a bit of extra flavor, you can add a pinch of thyme or rosemary to the flour mixture. This can add a delightful aromatic note to your dish. Enjoy your homemade chicken fried steak with creamy gravy.